video will be going live here pretty soon, so we're not going to be on very long. But I just want to talk to everybody, let you know that I am still here. I'm still alive. I know we've not been doing a lot of lives lately, but life gets busy. So talk a little bit. I'm going to give you some information on the channel and some updates. So we'll let a couple people get in here. Let's see if we can set this up. There we go. This thing is definitely going to fall. How's the audio, by the way? What's going on, Fat Boy Fox? So basically we're at a crossroads with the channel, and there's some things that I want to change. We've kind of talked about this before. What's going on, Sean? And that's what I want to do today, is just discuss that, and I think you guys are going to like it. So we're not going anywhere. The channel's still here, guys. I promise you. If anybody's wondering, I do work a full-time job, and we're here lately been working a lot of overtime, okay, to the point to where I have very little time to shoot. That's why you're not seeing me do the live streams, and you're not seeing me either get on Neo's live streams as much, things like that. So here's the plan. This thing, I should have really brought my stand. You guys gotta love how organized I am. Sound is tight. Okay. How much for it, A9L? It really depends, guys. I used to give those things away, but I don't know. I don't know what people are charging. Guys, what's the going rate for an A9L right now, if you don't mind? Ryan Bass, what's going on? Shout out to all the members. By the way, you guys have been killing it lately. I do appreciate it so much. You definitely are keeping the channel afloat for sure. So real quick, let's talk about some of the stuff that'll be coming up on the channel. We're going to start a second channel. We've talked about this before. I think I've got the name pretty much pinned down, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, this thing has evolved since we started talking about it originally. I think to start with, it was going to be Brutal Raw, and we were going to throw up. Here we go. I can set this thing right here. Perfect. So to start with, we were going to do extended cuts and stuff like that on the new channel, but I think we're going to go a completely different direction. So $350, Brandon says. Yeah, $350. Oh Jesus, I used to give those things away. Wow. Love the comment. Miss my 5.0s. Yes, man. James, since you were here, can I have an A9L? Okay, so yeah, we got Leach Motorsports in the house. So real quick, Matt calls me from Leach Motorsports at like 8:30 this morning and woke me up. I was trying to sleep in today. I'd called him last night. He didn't answer, so he got me this morning. Needless to say, we jumped on this car right here on the Calypso. Jumped on this thing first thing this morning, and Matt knocks a freaking tune out of the park. Guys, he's got some new strategies that he's using with the Holly, and I was blown away. We actually have the video. We recorded the Zoom conference call, so we're going to post that, and also I shot a little bit of footage as well, so we will have that coming. I think it was about an hour and a half long, something like that, so we'll post that up for you guys so that you can see. But yes, man. Oh, we got Tyler in the house. LMR is in the house, guys. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff with LMR as well, and all the other sponsors. It's just right now is really just kind of a tough time of year for me to be able to do the live streams and things like that. So just please understand, we're not going anywhere. It's just life, right? But anyway, the second channel, we're going to do more of a my perspective on life, if you will, type video in a podcast style format. Not every video will be a podcast style format. And what that means is really clear audio, really clear video, a backdrop, mic, up here, just really kind of getting personal, right? I'll throw up some visuals for you guys. From time to time, we're going to have somebody to come by and interview. So that's going to be pretty cool. But you'll see that channel slowly start to ramp up. It'll take a little while, but that is what we're looking at right now. Take my vert and restore it for me. Rolling in my 5.0. What's up, Brutal? OG Superfly, what's going on? Donnie B, aren't you supposed to be busy right now with your event? So we got Donnie B in the house. But yeah, that's what's going on with the channel. We're going to change it up. Right now I'm too busy to actually get this started. I will. Well, no, I'm not going to tell you to go over and start subscribing right now because the name's going to change a little bit. We're going to do a couple other different things. I'm probably going to do some test videos and see how they do. But here pretty soon, I'll go ahead and give you guys the link. I'll tell you what the channel is if you want to go over and subscribe. Now, just so that we're clear, chances are this video is not going to be directly related to Fox Body content, right? It's going to be more about my life story. There again, my perspective on life, my ideas that I have, and how I grew up, and it's going to lead into the cars, but that's more than likely what it's going to be. Jack, what's going on? Horseplay motoring in the house. The event is done. I'm beat. Donnie B says. So Jack is in Texas. What's going on? Hello from Alabama to Texas. Hey man, thinking about moving to Alabama. What do you think about the Mobile area? Mobile area is really nice, man. OG Fox Body, seriously. Format 77, what's going on, man? Says, what's going on, Brutal and family? Man, we're doing good. It's hot, obviously, here in South Alabama right now, but we're doing good. Sorry I got it late. What did I miss? You getting a new channel. So yeah, I'll cover that again here in just a second. But we are going to start up a new channel. I've actually already got a lot of the equipment already purchased. It's just a matter of finding the time to get started, because I don't want to start the new channel and then like have a lot of overtime and stuff like that at my job, and I'm not going to be able to dedicate, you know, all the time that I need to into it. So it's going to take me a little while. We'll get there. I've got some other big news as well, possible big news, but we'll talk about that later. Let's see. Happy Sunday, yeah. So if you're just tuning in, there again, like I said, we're going to get this other channel up and going, and the way that that's going to work is I'm going to do some test videos first, right? I've got to be happy with it, make sure it's what I want, and once we do that, we're going to drop probably 2 or 3 videos like pretty quick, so that if you do want to follow the series, in other words, like we've been wanting to do my backstory, my life story, if you will. I've got a good friend of mine, Jimmy. He's going to interview me. He's going to ask all the questions. You guys are going to freaking love Jimmy. I'm telling you right now, we call him the governor. The governor is awesome, and you guys are going to love this interview. You're probably going to honestly enjoy listening to him more than you will me. And you'll see what I mean whenever we get there. But once we get all that stuff posted up over there, and we'll make sure that it's going to work, we'll kind of officially go live with it, and I'll let you guys know what the channel is and give you a link. Notice upload. Okay, notice uploaded on Apple Podcasts. Love hearing 5.0 Mustang talk. Yeah, so we're definitely going to do some Mustang talk, right? We're going to do that. But this channel is designed to reach a broader audience, a bigger audience, I guess, because it's going to be more of my outlook and, you know, my perspective on things. But I think everybody will be able to benefit from it. It'll be pretty cool. It's just a different way of thinking about stuff. You guys know that about me. If there's one thing you do know, it's that I look at things a lot differently. I actually catch a lot of flack for it a lot of times, because they're like, dude, why do you do things the way you do? I don't know, man. It's just brutal. It's just the way I am. Such a thing as a remote tune on a Mega Squirt Leech. Yeah, so a remote tune, guys, like if you want a live remote tune, that's just a matter of letting him log into your computer, like through a Zoom call, and let him take control of your computer. So yeah, I mean, anything can be done that way. You can live tune, remote tune with a quarter horse or any of that stuff. Oh yeah. We're keeping this channel, guys. Please don't misunderstand. We're keeping this channel, and we've got, I'm not gonna say a lot of new stuff. So I guess I need to let you guys know this. So we had talked about the possibility of getting a 4-eyed notchback, and I was supposed to get it this weekend. Some stuff come up, and I'm just not gonna be able to do it. So I'm gonna have to pass on that, at least for right now. For one thing, I really don't have anywhere to put another car at the moment. So we're gonna have to do some expanding on the shop and things like that before we can really take on another project. But you never know. We may end up with this thing, but as of right now, I had to put that on hold. We also have the 65 Fastback up there in the garage. You got to get that thing back out and start working on it as well. And you know, that car runs and drives. It's got a T5 transmission in it, and the only thing really left to do is get the body work done on the outside of it and kind of start moving forward. There is some pretty good, I like a lot of welding on the inside that's got to be done too. Some new brackets and braces and stuff. What's the deal with the Gray Ghost? Okay, yeah, OG, we just answered that. Let's see. Terry, good, man. Glad you called alive. Huh. So Landon wants to know if anybody runs the Icon throttle body from Motion Raceworks. OG, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we got Leach Motorsports in the house, guys. If you want to ask him any questions or whatever the case may be, go ahead and hit him up, man. Matt's all ears right now, or Cody or whoever it is listening. Be waiting. I love hearing them stories, especially when you feel like kicking it with the buddies. Yeah, so that's essentially what it's going to be. It's just going to be a very chill type situation where we talk about stuff. We'll see how it goes. It's something that I want to get out. And I don't want to put it on this channel because I really do just try to keep it Fox Body, you know, related. And I do my best to give you guys tips and tricks as often as we can, and not just like, oh, here's a Fox Body, look at it. You know, I always try to do something that we can all learn from. Here lately, it's been pretty rough. The red car, you know, we thought we had it fixed a couple times, and then, you know, right back to the same type of issue. And you know, I get comments all the time, people saying, you know, amateur hour, or how do you not know this? Well, guys, I'm human just like you are. Now, let me ask you guys this. So I do show, oftentimes I show failures, right? We'll go ahead and we'll leave it in the video, and it may look like I'm chasing my tail, but would you rather me cut that out and just show you the good stuff, or would you guys like to see the failures and all that stuff as well? I mean, it's an honest question. I'm always going to show it, but I am just curious how many people would basically just like to get to the point, get to the fix. Because I get it for some people, you know, you're watching the channel, you're here to learn something, and then I do a fix on a car and come to find out that wasn't the fix. But I go ahead and leave that in there. And I'll leave it in the same video as well. Keep it rough and raw, makes it real. Yeah, F the haters. Yeah, trust me, guys, I've gotten to that point in my life now where I can pretty much just say F them. I'd like to see it. Yeah, I thought you guys would, because, you know, like I've said so many times before, I'm human. I'm just like you. I make mistakes, but I really try to, I get out here and I work on these things, and I tackle problems using logic. You know, I'm not a big, and I know this pisses a lot of people off, but I don't run a lot of codes, and there's a reason why I don't do that on these cars, is these codes will lie to you a lot of times. Now, for some of you guys, you know which codes not to look for, and you've learned, like, if you do it enough, you'll get pretty good at it. But for the average guy that's got a highly modified car, in my opinion, running codes, you'll chase parts. You'll spend a lot of money replacing things, because these things are going to send codes like crazy, right? If it's a highly modified car, and half this stuff doesn't even matter, but you'll end up spending a bunch of money on it anyway. So I'm just not big on codes. I mean, I've got a code reader in there, but yeah, you learn from my mistakes. Exactly. You guys want to see, you know, I like to give you a little snippet here. Ooh, look at old girl, she's back, baby. She is back. Carbon Fox over here. So the Calypso, I didn't do a lot to it. I finally put the seat back in this thing, and Matt tuned it this morning. We're still working on the tuning. There's still a few little things that we need to address. Just like Matt said, we have to drive it first. We didn't have time to do that today. But man, this car's running so much better. Put new plugs in it. Obviously, I put the 18s back on it just to drive it around. And the car's doing really good. The only thing that I'm ready to get rid of, honestly, is the spool. The spool's got to go. Handling Motorsports in the house. What's going on, Andrew? Did you ever get the AC hooked up on the Calypso? No, Landon. I've honestly not messed with the Calypso much at all. If you guys, if you've been on the channel, you know, recently, you know that we've not really done a lot with the Calypso. But the air conditioner's there, like the AC works. It just needs to be wired up. And I think now there's a plug and play setup on that. I'm getting a Mega Squirt, OG says, install. Is it difficult for you all to do remote tuning? Okay, so Leech, OG Superfly is asking a question about remote tuning. It should be pretty easy. If you have to have the software and everything on your computer, and essentially Matt's just going to log in and take control of your computer, and he'll tune it like he was sitting there using your laptop, like in the car. I harp on that a lot because I don't think a lot of people understand it, and I really didn't understand it as well until Matt remote tuned one of my cars. Well, actually, a buddy of mine did it years ago as well, but to see it done for the first time, you're like, holy crap, you can actually have that done. Now, I don't know if that's something that he wants to do for everybody or what the case is, but you know, yes, he absolutely can do remote tunes, and any of it can be done. We got Foxcast Media in the house. What's going on, brother? That is my brother from another mother, I'm telling you. Foxcast is my boy. We had a good conversation a few days ago. So, hey, look, we're all still trying. You know, Neo, Foxcast, and myself, we talk a lot. You know, as well as Blue Oval and just everybody. I mean, we all talk. I say this all the time, but we really are a big community. We're like a big family, and we all try to help one another, and we brainstorm ideas as well. So, I guess that's kind of just some inside stuff that you guys might find cool, but. You know, we're on the phone, sometimes three-way. Like we've done that before, you know, and we're just chatting it up about stuff. So, and we may do the possibility of doing a podcast with the Foxcast, which started out doing Fox Body Podcast. Foxcast. Did you guys know that? That's where Foxcast Media come from, a Fox podcast. Got Neo in the house. I'm telling you guys, this community is awesome. Look at everybody. Just look. You guys go down and look through the comments and check out everybody just talking back and forth to one another. It's so cool. Who has the plug and play AC for the Holly? So Landon wants to know if anybody knows the company that has the plug and play for the Holly. I actually need to know as well. Speaking of plug and play, I'm sure you guys have seen this floating around on Facebook. We may do something with that. It just depends. But we may do something with that as well. Ooh, ooh. Damn, those are some big ants. What? Hold on. These are big ants, bro. Trying to bite me. All right, look, I'm not going to be on much longer. I just wanted to let everybody know the plan for the new channel. Give you just kind of an outline, if you will. Yeah, hey, Ford Map, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Yes, everybody, Neo will be going live here after a while. I think, what is it, 7 o'clock Eastern? Is that right? 8 o'clock Eastern? No, he's talking about a different adapter. Yeah, so there's a couple different adapters that everybody's talking about right now. So you got the AC adapter, and then you have the Holly plug and play adapter as well. So we'll get into that. It's all over Facebook if you guys haven't seen it yet. Yes, 8 Eastern. Yes, 8 Eastern if you guys want to go over and check out Neo. I'm going to try to pop in, but I have promised my baby girls that we're going to go on a golf cart ride. So I got to go do that, and then we'll see. Yes, so here's the information. So Donnie B is going to have those adapters, okay? You'll be able to purchase those. I'm not going to speak a whole lot on the adapters at the moment because, I mean, I know about them. I've spoken with Danny personally about them with the Holly Terminator X adapter that just plugs in to your factory wiring harness. That's going to be a very hot topic here real soon, guys. Here in probably, what, like 2 weeks, this thing is going to blow up. And you're going to see this all over the place with these Holly adapters, with these Terminator X adapters. There's plug and play right in your factory wiring harness. A lot of people there's going to be some hate on it because people think that they have to have a new harness. And for some of you, you do need a new harness, but not for everybody. Like, I'll give you a good example. I would put a Holly on. Let me turn the camera around. I would put the Terminator X on this car, right, on the red car, but not if I have to put that harness in this car. I don't like having to put that harness and extra wires. Who else is with me? I want to read this down in the comment section. How many of you guys really don't want to do the Terminator X because of all of the extra wiring that you have to do? Like me, I like the factory wiring. It's typically pretty good unless you have an issue with it. At that point, yeah, sure, change it out. But for me, I just don't want all that extra stuff. Oh, I need to put oil cap back on. Actually, this does not need to go on here. Watch, guys. This will happen. So I have to go get another filter because my PCV is not hooked up on the car, so it's vented to atmosphere. Now watch, I'll drive this car down the road and forget this and blow the dipstick tube out of it. Mark my words. Okay, so forget the extra wiring. Only thing I would say is your factory wiring is 30 years old. Yes, so I agree with Caleb, but at the same time, for a lot of you guys, you don't want to deal with it, right? And that's not to say, my opinion on this is just because they're old doesn't mean they're bad, okay? Everybody's like, well, they're brittle and they're this and that. Yeah, but if they stay in place and you don't mess with them and you're not pulling this thing on and off, most of the time all this wiring is good. What about our 30-year-old wiring that's under our dash, right? We're not going in there changing all that stuff out. Now, I do understand it's not subjected to the same amount of heat and stuff like that as under the hood, but I just kind of have a different outlook on it. And I do get it. For some of you guys, it is an absolute necessity, especially like if you're building a car from scratch, say like a 4-cylinder car or something. It makes perfect sense to go with a Holley. Now, we don't have to worry about it. It's a standalone deal. But it's also a really good idea to just be able to plug something in like a Mega Squirt. Let me just show you guys real quick. Forget that this says Mega Squirt. Forget about that. This is now a Holley Terminator X. You guys know how easy this thing is to install? You just plug it up, and that's it. Just pop it in, and you're done. It's that freaking simple. It'll take you 20 minutes to put that thing in. Now you can do that with a Holley Terminator X. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But it's not for everybody. I get it. Some of you need a new wiring harness, and you're not gonna, like for some people, you're not gonna be able to sleep at night until you put this wiring harness in the car. Like if you put in a new computer and you left that wiring harness, like it'll keep you up at night. So I get it for some people. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. But guys, going back to like, you know, what Foxcast said, this wiring is getting old, right? It's brittle. If you're going to be, you know, pulling intakes off a lot and you've been in this thing and you're starting to see cracks and your wires deteriorating, it's probably time. But just because it's 30, 40 years old or whatever the case may be, and you think you have to replace it, if all of your gauges work and the car's running great, and you're not like bending, you know, old wires out of the way and stuff, and like everything is there, guys, there's a good chance. Just buy the adapter, plug it in, and you're probably not gonna have any troubles. MJI in the house, what's going on? MJI, how's my little buddy, man? How's he doing? Yeah, Foxcast says if your wiring isn't hacked, man, for sure keep it. Keep the stock wiring, exactly. If it's in good shape, that's all. Yeah, some cars are necessary. My 87 harness was butchered. Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, guys, anytime I tell you stuff like this and I go against the grain on stuff and I'm telling you leave your factory harness, you don't need it, it's not for everybody. And I'm not saying that this should be applied to everybody. If you have a damaged harness, then yes, please replace that thing. You can either go with a better harness, a better factory harness, sure, or you can go with, you know, a whole new harness. I personally don't like the extra wiring. I don't like the way it fits because it's still somewhat of a universal kit and it drives me nuts. I cannot stand under the hood of that green car now that I've got that Terminator X on it. Like, I really want to rip all that stuff out, go factory harness, and just go back to go to this new plug and play setup. Sean Ray says, so if the wiring is brutal, change it. Yeah, absolutely. I would have left the factory wiring if the MF custom adapter was available. Too late now. That's right. I hated the salt and pepper shakers. I actually kind of like them in a way. Little Isaiah says, hey, tell him I said, what's up, man? I can't wait to see him next year. That's my little buddy right there. Guys, if you don't know, like if you've watched some of the videos from Ford Takeover, Always had my little buddy Isaiah there, and that's his dad that you're seeing there, MJI. Beautiful, beautiful candy apple red fox body, by the way. But I love seeing him every year. It's just like it's like we look forward. You know, we see Nikki and JJ, and it's like you guys are becoming family to us, and I'm not joking. It's serious. When we get ready to go, you know, to Ford Takeover, I start thinking of who all I'm going to see. It's just so freaking cool, man, to meet everybody there. Jason, what's going on? Finally got back to a live chat. Been busy. What's up, man? Nothing really. We've been talking about the possibility of a new channel that I'm trying to start up. I could take you inside. My wife would probably kill me. I could take you guys inside for a second and like show you the little setup. It's just a backdrop. We won't worry about it. Never mind. I've got a backdrop and a mic and all that stuff. I enjoy, like, I really love podcasts, guys. Love them. The older I get, the more I want to just get in my vehicle. I want to drive, go to work, have like my coffee or whatever the case may be, and listen to a podcast, something with really good audio, like, you know, crispy audio. I don't worry so much about the video portion of it, but I just really like it. So you have to do what you want to do in life, like what works for you, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't screaming for a freaking podcast style channel. I get that, but for me, it's what I want to do, and I really want to give that a go because I enjoy that type of format. And we'll just see what happens with it. That's all. Just got in and seen the Mega Squirt. What we're talking about, Gary. Basically, what we're talking about is the new Terminator X adapter kit from MF Customs. That kit will basically just plug in like a Mega Squirt or a Micro Squirt. So pretty cool, man. We'll more than likely we'll probably end up with one on the channel, and I don't know. We may pop it. Well, probably first thing what we'll do is probably just put it in the Retro Fox to start with. But eventually I'll probably just pull it out and then put a factory harness back in the Calypso and then run that adapter in there, because I just don't like all that extra wiring. Because here's the deal. There's nothing wrong with Terminator X wiring. Like, it's great. Right? The plugs and all that stuff, if you know how to pin connectors, it's great. I'm not very good at hiding wires, right? So whenever it's all said and done, it's like a rat's nest, and I'm just like, where did this thing go? Where does that plug in? So that's why I don't like it that much. That's the only reason. I don't trust my work. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right, so Foxcast says, brutal, in for some draggy on the Carbon Fox. Seems to be stout with the new trans. So yeah, Caleb, I actually did a draggy video. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you guys. It didn't do so good. Turn the camera around so you can see it. So it's nothing wrong with the transmission, but we are at the moment. Here's the issue. First to second gear is freaking money on this car. Now, I mean, it is money. Second to third shifts early. It shifts about 5,500 at wide open throttle. Now, that's not really a problem if you're going to leave this thing in drive and driving around like you floor it. Like, it works out great. But at the track, leaving it in drive is probably not going to work. But let's be honest, how many people actually leave their cars in drive when you go to the track? An older car like this, you're going to want to manually shift it. So manually shifting this car fixes that problem, but I haven't been able to draggy test it, whatever you want to call it, with shifting it like that with the AOD shuffle. Okay, so that should fix the problem. But I can tell you that it didn't go that great, to be honest with you. It didn't go faster. I'll say that. It didn't go faster, but it will. It will. This car is super snappy. Guys, I've got this. Just wait to see this video. I think I'm gonna release it tomorrow. I actually haven't even edited it yet, but this thing roasted the freaking drag radials on it. It was on a not the best road. The guys, it destroyed my freaking tires yesterday from a dead stop. It spun tires all the way. It shifted into second spin and just leaving two black marks, just as pretty and dark as you please. So she makes some steam, guys. She's not a punk. This car is going to run good. I think it needs a little more stall in it. I've got a 3500 stall, so we may try that. But I think it needs a little more stall, and to be honest with you, it really needs a trans brake. It needs a manual valve body and all that, but I don't want to go there. So with that being said, you have to foot brake the car, and I'm sure the back shoes probably need to be, the whole back drum kit needs to be rebuilt so that it can hold the converter. Right now, I think the front tires are the only thing really holding the car, the front brakes. So anyway, we're not going to get into all that. See comment above, need input, 89. Let's see, where you at, brother? Nikki and JJ right there. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Quick question, people. Installing lower Systemax intake as I type. I have the TFS gaskets that are thick. Should I put some RTV around the water ports or no? Yes, put RTV around the water ports. Smear it around, don't put it thick, but smear it around real thin on the head side, and then lay the gasket up there, and then smear some around the gasket side as well. And since you're putting on a Systemax lower, make sure you put this piece on. If you see it in the package, if it's new, please put this deflector on right here. Because here's all the parts. We actually just got these in from Anderson. They were out of stock when I ordered mine, but all these parts here, make sure that you put that deflector on. Mine is not on, and I've got it where it's not slinging stuff out, but it really needs to be on there, especially if you have a PCV system. None of my cars run a PCV. They all vent to atmosphere. All right, a couple more minutes, guys. Let's see. Yes, always did RTV regardless. You and Foxcast are missing out on Australia's biggest performance engine secret. Yeah, the Barra. Is that what you're talking about? The Barra, the Barra. Oh yeah, those things are awesome, man, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, right there. All right, cool, man. Glad to help, 89 GT. Is anyone using 4150 style EFI intake with elbow on boosted SF small block forward? If so, what's the opinions? So Landon, you can go back and look at Justin 91LX. Go to YouTube and look up Justin 91LX's page. He did that recently on his car. I think it was maybe last year, a couple of years ago now. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that use that, and it works. It works fine. Nothing against Coyote fans, but I'm trying to get my Fox to be a Coyote killer. Hey, Sean Ray, there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with if you're a LS guy wanting to kill a Coyote. Like, I mean, you know, you just got to do you, right? Whatever it is. I'm a Ford guy, and I do appreciate that. I understand it. I do, like, I like the Coyote stuff. It's a lot of money. Which really is not, because me and Foxcast had a conversation one time about it, and he schooled me on it. He was like, you know, how much money are you going to spend? I'm going off on a tangent again. But he was like, how much money would you spend to build like a 347 stroker with heads and, you know, a good bottom end? So we got to talking about the price, and what was funny was you literally could put a Coyote in your car for pretty much the same. It's really not a lot of difference. And you got a newer engine and everything else. So, but it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money at one time, and but at some point I'd like to own one. I just don't want to do the swap. I want somebody to swap it for me. Kayla, would you build me a Coyote car so I can just buy it? 351, 387, yes. So you guys, I'm sure you've probably seen Neo's video by now, but he's killing this 351 game right now. Yeah, it's all about doing what you love. That's it, man. It doesn't matter. Are you going to be at Fort Worth for the LMR cruise in October? Nah, guys, I'm sorry. I won't be able to make it this year. Let me just say this. Maybe next year I can make a lot more events like that. There's you guys a little hint. Possibly. We'll see. Yes, Larry says Coyotes are scary because who in the world would fix it when it breaks? Yeah, I think at this point you pull it out and you find another Coyote at this point for the most part, depending on what you got. Like if you got a Gen 1 or Gen 2 or something like that, or at least that's my thoughts. I don't know. Yeah, just like Foxcast says, man. You know, the main thing is it's forward powered. That's it. You know, and like I said, I'm not even against I'm not against Chevrolet or whatever the case may be. I'm not a big Mopar fan. Not, I can't really go there really, but I can appreciate it. But yeah, whatever it is, man, just enjoy what you've got. And it's actually a video that I tried to shoot yesterday, but I just could not get the words out. Like, it just was not flowing. But and I will do this video, so I'm not going to go into it. But it's like leaving your car stock. You know, we modify our cars, and then you get to a point with it where you realize the enjoyment's just not there. Like, the love that you had for this thing in the beginning, it starts to change. We start to chase people, and you know, we're all competitive people. If you're into cars, you know, you're into competition, at least somewhat, for the most part anyway. And I just, you know, this car was supposed to be pretty much stock, the gray car. We were going to leave it stock and just drive it. And I will admit that it pretty much still drives like stock, so I don't regret doing this car this way. But the green car, I regret it, guys. I regret going to a spool, and I knew better, because I've had cars with spools, but I've never had a 5-speed car with a spool. That's a different animal. When you got a car with a torque converter and, you know, a high stall and wrinkle wall bi-ply tires with a spool, just like it's not even there. You don't notice it as bad, but I promise you, you notice it on a hard tire with a 5-speed. So yeah, I regret that. I really do. You just got to do what you love. But here's the thing: don't be fooled into thinking that you love to drag race and you want to go out and compete with the Hellcats and the new Coyote cars and the Camaros and stuff. Definitely a Tesla. Never chase after that. Just let that thing be what it is. But like, don't get fooled into thinking that's what you really want to do. Learn yourself. Be very self-aware before you start modifying your car, because it looks fun on YouTube watching us do it and stuff, but you don't see the blood, sweat, and tears and the cuss words and all the freaking money that comes out of our bank accounts. And you also don't see the fact that I don't drive these cars every single day. That's not my daily driver. It's just not, if I'm being honest with you. And there's a reason for that. They're loud. They're getting older. Everything in them rattles, no matter how much you do to them, you know. I love these cars, and I will forever have a Fox body, but it's not something that I want to drive every single day, right? I drive that because it's quiet, and it's easy, and it's got a little bit of power. That's what I want to do. So really, a stock Mustang, maybe with like a small cam and some exhaust and some gears or something, is really about the way to go, guys, for a lot of you. Now, some of you are not going to be happy with that, but as long as you're self-aware and you know that, that's cool. Yeah, so OG says projects evolve. Projects do evolve, but sometimes I feel like we evolve too quickly with them. We watch, what's that damn, Street Outlaws, or, you know, whatever it is that you're watching, and you get hyped up, or you see a video on Facebook of Neo going 4s in the freaking quarter, and you think, oh man, you know, I got to have a car like that. I don't think a lot of people understand the sacrifices that you have to make to own a car like that. It's not going to feel like a stock car anymore. More than likely, if you've always loved Fox bodies, you love the styling of them. You love the cool factor, right? Somebody just, you know, cruising down the road, you got your arm hanging out, you know, you got the radio on, and you're just chilling, right? Beautiful car, sounds good, runs good. And then after a while, you know, you're like, I gotta have more power. But do you? But do you really? Because you're still not gonna outrun a Tesla, or you're not gonna outrun, more than likely, most of us aren't gonna outrun that Demon or that Hellcat. I hate it. God, I reference those cars a lot, but it's true because it makes you guys understand. You can go out and do whatever you want to, but you gotta have tires, you gotta have suspension, you gotta have the, you know, the transmission, and then you gotta drive it. Then you gotta drive it, because these guys don't have to drive theirs. And if you beat it, you ain't gonna beat it by much, and then what did you accomplish? I don't know. It's just a different way of thinking about stuff, guys. Now, a race car, that's different. If you want to build a race car, build a race car. Just know what you're getting into, is all I'm saying. Larry, thank you so much. Yeah, so cam-only cars are going to satisfy most people. Just don't get caught up in comparing your Fox body Mustang with somebody else. You know, you're around the water cooler at work, you know, and everybody's talking about their fast cars and their new shit. Man, if you want something like that, go buy a new car. Or Coyote swap Fox. Now, that's different. That's cool. I get that for sure. But, man, just let a Fox body be a Fox body. It's not going to compete with these new cars. I don't care what you do. Like, here's the thing. You could go out and make 800 horsepower and make this thing dead hook and pretty much outrun anything on the street that rolls off the showroom floor. But it's still a Fox body. You know, it doesn't have heated and cooled seats. It doesn't have, you know, navigation and all that. Unless you, of course, you know, you add all that. It's still an old car. So enjoy it for an old car is all I'm saying. Yeah, man, it's the nuances for sure. Yeah, see, I get off on. This is why I want to do a podcast, because I can just ramble, and I won't feel rushed, and it can be more thorough. But you can see where, maybe by now you guys can see that my mind just works differently. I'm off by a little bit. I'm just off slightly from the way most people think about stuff. So maybe at least you can get a kick out of my thought process and everything else. Let's see, the silent one facts. There's no reason, you know, there's a reason we don't competitively race. Yeah, exactly. Win's win. It is. And look, guys, you know, just so you know, I get it. For some people, you're like, screw that, man. You know, I want to beat the guy, you know, next to me or whatever, and I want to be the fastest, or I want to be whatever. I get it. I get the competition factor. I truly do. I've just passed it now in my life. I say I'm past it. Hold on, let me back up. Let me clarify this real quick. I've been to my AA meetings. I'm a recovering drag racer. Okay, I'm a recovering drag racer, and I'm good with that, and I like it. It's where I want to be for my family and all this other stuff that I do. But I know one hit, literally one hit at the track, and I'll be right back to doing it again. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys, if that's what you want to do. My life just can't. I can't do that right now. So that's why I'm like I am. The gray mare is a beast. Currently have 17 Fox bodies. Jesus, man. That's crazy. Like looking at other projects too. Yeah, exactly. I want one to be decently fast. Yeah, you want it to impress you and to feel good. Like when you hit it right, you want this thing to feel good and be responsive. I'll give you a good example. That's a Dodge. You can hear that a mile away. I think that's what it was. It's like this car right here. Let me get out of the way so you can see it. This car is a freaking blast to drive. I love it. It's not fast. It's not fast at all. It's quick though, and it's impressive for what it is, and I freaking love it. I love the way the cam sounds. I love the way the transmission hits. I love just the cool factor of this car, right? But it's not gonna outrun shit. I mean, it's literally, it'll barely outrun my EcoBoost truck. I mean, barely. And if it spins, it won't outrun that truck. Madison just bought a, what's that little car again? What is that? Let's walk up here and look at this thing. Because Madison didn't buy a car, guys. She didn't buy a Mustang. I tried my best. A Fusion. Yeah. So Madison just bought a Fusion. And that thing will probably outrun my gray car. So what are you really trying to do? Always think about that. What are you trying to achieve? I would almost bet, because this has got that big EcoBoost in it, and I drove it in sport mode, and I do think that it would probably beat my gray car. Think about that. Right? And when you've got something like that sitting like in your driveway that you could drive to work, you start asking yourself questions like, why do I really want to make all this power? Like, now my car it wants to buck and snatch around the neighborhood and everything else, just for, you know, a few extra horsepower when my daily driver might outrun it. There again, guys, we're just brainstorming. Devil's advocate here. Love the chill live streams. Yeah, man. EcoBoost are bullies. They are. They really are. Other than it being an AOD, oh, the silent one says, other than being an AOD. Dude, you got to drive this thing. You got to drive this car. It is so freaking fun. The way it turns up, man. And that converter, it gets up on that converter, easing around, and dude, it just sounds raw. It sounds nasty. It sounds like it will do something. But it is a fun car, though. It's probably one of my... It really is. It's probably my favorite car to drive. And that's what I built it for. I wanted it to be that. I wanted to be able to jump in it, go to the store, you know, come back and be satisfied with it. The red car is probably second in line with that. And then the green car, in a straight line, the green car is a freaking blast. Like, it is the most fun, most powerful car that I've got. But driving it around with the spool and everything else, it's not as fun. line up with her. I thought about it, Matt, but I'm going to be honest with you, man, or Cody, or whoever this is. Leach Motorsports, anyway. Who is this, by the way? Announce yourself. I thought about lining up with her, but guys, do you want to see me do it? Screw it. Let me ask the question. Do you want to see the gray car line up against Madison's Fusion? And I want her to drive it. God, I would never live that shit down if she beat me. She might. She very well may beat me. I should sneak out there with the draggy and see what it'll run. Of course y'all do. Of course you do. So you can freaking laugh. So everybody can laugh about Brutal getting outrun by an 18-year-old with a freaking Ford Fusion. Yes, Sean Ray, yes. He says that my old black GT, Andrew's got my black GT, my old one, is very impressive for what it is. Now, those are the builds that you just cannot go wrong with. Now, that's nasty. That's a nasty build for what it is. That little stock bottom end 302 with a carburetor and some gas and a B-cam will skin your ass up in the road if you're not careful, regardless of what you got. In most cases, that car is fast for what it is, and it works. Now, I love that. It's a simple build, doesn't have a lot of money in it. A car like, well, you got a lot of money in that, and a lot of tuning and everything else that's involved in it. But like Andrew's car is just nasty. All right, so what's everybody saying? Yes, Fusion. So the silent one says, does a spool howl when you turn corners? Yes, it does. It chirps the tires and all that stuff. It be Matt. All right, so Matthew, aka Fox Body Jesus, is in the house today. And he can't defend himself. Like, he can type all he wants to, but I can just say it over and over and over. Fox Body Jesus, Fox Body Jesus. Do we get a new member? All right. So Wicked 86, welcome to the GT package. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. How do those tires stick on the green car? So the tires that are on the green car right now are just street tires. They're just street tires. It does okay with these wheels right here. It does okay. It'll hook in third gear with the Mickey Thompson's on it in third, and the car's on like 6 pounds of boost. I actually got a video of that today, so I may have my Wednesday video may be the video where we're driving the Calypso. Jesus, no, Jesus. It's Fox Body Jesus, baby. He says he can't be Fox Body Jesus because somebody around there calls themselves Fox Body Jesus. I don't care. You're Fox Body Jesus. I don't care. They just got to find a new name, bro. They aren't stuck on, they're mounted. Finally decided on a dark 363 with an F1A. That's gonna be nasty. Okay, so Squid Fluid says that he just built one with a similar setup, a TFS cam AOD, planning on having PI build the converter and everything else, so 2,500 or 3,000 stall. Man, the more I drive this car, the more I would probably go somewhere around about the 2,800 mark, 26, 2,800. 24, for whatever reason, just does not hit good with this car. It sucks. It needs a little more grunt. That's part of the reason why the car isn't any faster than it is. It needs more stall. The car makes power, like the little motor makes power, but it doesn't make a shit ton of torque down low like that. And I think that will be the difference. So the silent one says, I want to say that I really love this channel, love the foxes, love the family vibe. Yes, wish me and my son were building foxes, but he's not interested. Man, thank you so much, the silent one. I don't know how else to say it, but that's what I've always wanted out of this channel. I want that family kind of vibe, you know, everybody just chill, talk. I run my mouth a lot. Everybody around me my whole life's always told me I like to talk a lot, so I get it. But at the same time, it's me. I'm just, you know, I'm being me, and I hope you guys don't mind it. But I ramble a lot of times, and I've tried in the past to not do that, but I finally just gave up and said to hell with it. We're just going to talk about whatever. It just is what it is. But I do appreciate you on that because that's the vibe that I want you to get. All right, guys, look, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because Neo is going to be going live here pretty soon, okay? Raggedy Ann. Yeah, so that's... Okay. So, did you read that? Look, right here, read down in the comments. Leech Motorsport says, hey, man, I'm going to call you after the live stream about some converter stuff. See, that's a badass tuner right there. That's a badass tuner. We've talked a little bit about it, so I kind of know what he's getting at. But I'm not going to step on any toes or overspeak my boundaries here. But stuff can be done around your converter stuff, too, as well, okay? How your car gets on the converter, he can see all that in your tune, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll be getting a phone call here in just a second from him. Yep. All right, guys, look, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Please check your email. I'm horrible about checking it, but I promise you, Horseplay, I will do my best to try to remember to check it when I get off, okay? Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Stay tuned. We got a video coming out, I think tomorrow on this one, and then over here on the Calypso. You guys haven't seen it in a while, so